to the channel where we are building a video game from scratch using Love2d and Lua. Yesterday we built out a fourth panel for this 4-quadrant scene here. We built out this bottom panel because we're trying to make a channel trailer for Twitch. But I said yesterday we were going to make that today, but I think we have some stuff to fix still before we work on the trailer, including the walking bug. We're stuck walking here, and this is a bug that has been eluding us. If I don't wear... Oh gosh. Yeah. Well, you can see I'm off screen here, but I'm not holding any inputs, and our input list has an input in it. So it's like we need to... I don't know how to fix this. I don't know how to recreate it, but that's on our list to fix. We'll maybe dig around and see if we can fix that. But today what I'm thinking is, I think we want to fix this bug where we can, use our spell casting to cleanse geckos, but they are not always cleansing. See how they're just like infinite health here? I think if we run the game again, we'll see that they actually don't have... Let's see, I think we can cleanse them the first time. Yeah, okay, we can cleanse them when they first spawn, but it looks like on the secondary spawn they get stuck with, whatever, too much health. So let's see if we can find how to fix that bug. I'm gonna take a look at our entity class here, and we have a type gecko, and we should have a sort of collision detection, right? If the collision detection... Let's see where this is. We do have a particle system reset. That wouldn't be it. We're looking for right here. When we fire spell collide, we deduct our health by the damage. That makes sense. And then we give them a knockback, we become hit. Okay, so there's something... There's a line here where we're resetting the geckos back to... It might be in the scene class, because every scene has the reference to the entities. So let's see, see how we have a table of entities in our scene, and we should have a function here that resets all the enemy entities to be not only their original position, but their original health as well. And I'm thinking we just have the wrong health kind of put in there. Oh, you know what? Let's turn this on. Oh, that's just... No. I'm thinking of... We had at one point a little health bar for the geckos, which would be handy for debugging why this might be messing up. Maybe that's in the entity class? Yeah, I guess we took it off. We could render just the gecko's health and see. So maybe when we are, here's the state machine. Oh, it might be in the walking state or something for our entity here. We should have like a reset entity or something. Health bars. Let's put that back on and see. I think we're just rendering like above their head. It's only when they're walking. Oh, they got very little health. Yeah, that's jacked up. Let's see when we come back if they have more health. Once they become walking, they do. Okay, so yeah, that's why they're... Wow. So yeah, it looks like We're just respawning them with just an absurd amount of health. I don't think they're invincible. I think they just have a crap ton of health. It looks like they're going... It does look like the health bars are shrinking as we hit them, but I can't really tell. Maybe not. Oh my god. They're just ganging up on me. Okay, they killed me. Okay, so something's clearly wrong here. It looks like we start with very little health. We start with like 1 pixel of health for them. Why is that so weird? I wonder if we render what the entity's health actually is here as well. We can just print that up. We're going to say that we want to print what the health is. So we'll just say self.entity.health. And we'll give it an X and Y, which is the current position of our self. So self.entity.x and Y. Okay, now instead of drawing it exactly where we are, we want to kind of maybe modify the Y by like a -5, so it's above where our geckos are being drawn. And maybe we'll start to get their health in here. The number of what their health is, yeah. Okay, so they've got 2 health at the moment. And then when we walk off, oh my, yeah, that's why. They've got 150 on respawn. Wow. They really do take the damage. But yeah, you have to hit them 150 times. Okay. So yeah, that is the issue here. We've got to look at where we're resetting our entities. I think maybe in our map declarations, which doesn't make a lot of sense to have our entities in our map declarations, but I think we do. Yeah. Well, we've got health 2, right? Which they do have a health 2 to start with, but it's upon the reset. So there should be, in the reset, we should be doing something like this where we go through and pull all the entities for the given frame and reset it to the original value. But we're clearly not doing that because we start off with 2. They have 2 health, and then they have 150. So yeah, it looks like the collision and everything for the spell casting is working fine on there. But we need... Yeah, we just need to find where we're resetting this value and make sure it's not 150. I'm going to actually just grep search for a 150 and see why it's right here. Hey, what up, Squatch? Inheriting from an indestructible, they are indeed. It turns out I gave them 150 health for some reason. Reset original position. We should be setting this to the original definition. So instead of calling it 150 here, we can pull it from here where we're given the health. So I think we have an original value here. So we can say there is a health, but there's also an original health, which is what they started with. And we can inherit that. I guess inherit isn't the right word for that, but it would be, we define it in the entity system here. And then when we instantiate our particular entity, we pull in a duplicate of that value as an untouched original health. So when we hit them, they'll decrement their normal health, and then they'll also have a copy of this original health. And instead of setting the health to 150, we're going to be setting our health upon a reset original position. We're setting it to the original health. And as long as we give it a health, which we do, it should be able to reset to the original health and not 150 now. So they can cool it on that indestructibleness. Until I printed out how much health they had, I didn't know that they were actually taking damage, because I couldn't see a 1/50th slice of health taken off of them. But let's see. They should have 2 again instead of 150. Nice. Cool. That is big. I would like that we can scale their health bars. Not that it really matters. We don't really need their health bars working, but at least that fixes that bug before our channel trailer, which I'm thinking, well, I've got work this week, but I think it's going to be, I think I'll record the video for it sometime this week, and then I'll maybe edit it on stream. I don't know. I might just do it. I might just show off the video on stream once I'm done with it. But yeah, we do have these health bars, and we're rendering them with a width of an entity health divided by 6.25. I don't know where I came up with that. I think if we have more than 2 health, I think it might look better. Let me see. Oh, and you know what? This should probably be original health. Well, let's see. If we go to... I don't like that the entities are in our map declarations. It kind of makes sense because they live in the map as entities, but I don't know if I like that. Let's just give them 4 health and see if that changes the health bar. This doesn't matter. Like, we're only using the health bar for testing purposes, but yeah, that's wrong. What width are we giving this health bar? I'm just curious now. We'll leave their health at 3. And in the health bar, we see that we've got an X, a Y, and then a width of this entity health divided by 6.25. I don't know where I came up with that number. Because if we just say, hey, give us the health amount of width, let's see what that looks like. It should be a big old bar, because well, actually, yeah, that's little. Okay, so maybe we just need to, we need to normalize whatever their total health is. We need to normalize that to 16 pixels wide. So if their health is 3, we would need to, 16 divided by 3, I guess. So 5.3, multiply it by 5.3 if their health is 3. I don't like that we'd have to hard code it like that, but I'm just curious if we put in a 5.3 multiplication on their health, if it stretches to their 16 pixel width. Let's see. Yeah, that looks about right. Yeah, now they got little health bars. And then they're cleansed and they walk away. Yeah, the health bars are not part of the game. It's just kind of a cool thing to plop on the entities there. But yeah, so Squatch, this is the logic I was talking to you about. See, he's only tracking me left or right unless our X's are equal, and then he'll come track me on the Y-axis. So once our X's are aligned, he'll come track me. But then here, like, I can't walk through this tree stump. Oh gosh, but geckos can. So like, I can't walk through these, but if I just chill up here, the geckos will walk right over it. And if I were to give them the same colliding logic, yeah, they would just forever walk into the stump, but we would have to do something like that pathfinding you were saying, where we can just, if collisions detected, walk a given direction away from the obstacle and then apply your logic again or whatever. Well, it'd have to apply different logic because it got stuck there because it was only tracking one value at a time. So yeah, we might have to get fancy with vectors for that. We'll see. I think as far as the channel trailer goes, the last thing I would want is like the stenciling for the cabin here. to be rendering in front of us or on top of us. Lua finding. I'll check that out. Here, I'll copy that so I don't forget it. Lua finding. Is that a VS Code thing? Cool. So yeah, we do want a couple more. It would be nice if we can have these animatables be inserted based on the tile ID from our tiled export. That would be really nice, because then we wouldn't have to manually insert all the animated frames. Oh, okay. Lua finding for pathfinding. Okay, I will check that out. Thank you for that tip. I'll look into it. Because like right here, so like all these waters that are animating, we draw it once in our tiled app. And let me just pull up tiled here. We draw the first frame of the water here, but then that won't animate it because the tile has to change over time. So the implementation for that was also in our map declarations, just at the bottom. And we have to manually, these are all the waters. So we put waters at all the given frames that we need it. And that, what that does is insert a function into the animatables table for that given map. And then if that map is on, that animatables table will update over time and run that function, and it'll animate that frame for us. But it'd be nice if we can just draw the sprite once, like just like how we're currently doing it, but then in our data downloader here, when we're pulling all of our, right here, we're looping through our global map. No, this isn't it. This isn't it. Where is it? It is this one. Yeah, okay, so it is this. It's this global map. Where is the map that we're saving? Tiled map, that's what it is. Tiled map. That tiled map is in our constants, I believe, and no, it's in our dependencies. Here we go. Maybe not. Okay. Yeah, it'd be nice if we had a way that says like, hey, if you're inserting the first frame of an animatable, go ahead and insert that animatable function into the given map row and map column while you're at it. Therefore, we don't have to manually declare them. We would just run it in our map downloader here. But at the moment, I'm not even seeing where we import our... Oh, this is it. It is tiled map. So this global map .layers.data is the table that tiled will export full of all of our tile IDs. So if we had a way in here, we would have to have a list of every animatable as well as what its first frame is. Oh, and dude, Squatch, I forgot to give you, if I hit this money button, I just gave you some gold. And then you can use the stream avatars to go get a Cyndaquil or something, because I know you like Kabuto, but I know Cyndaquil's also an option. And then I think if you do exclamation slots, your guy can play the slot machines. I think that's it. Oh, you have to give it an amount. So like slots and how much to bet. I want to bet 30. And then see he's running the slot machine. And then there's a couple different stuff you can get there. Ooh, I just won. It's rigged. Yeah, so I'm going to leave a little note here that says like, add animatable functions into map as tile ID is recognized. We'll leave this as a to-do. And then I'm going to actually snag this and put it into our notes so that we can keep track of it, because we know we need to do that. Okay. What else can we do? Because I don't think the stenciling is necessary for the channel trailer. We're gonna have to kind of think about how we're doing this. Hey, what up, K-Tronics? How's it going, dude? Good day to you. I hope everything is going great on your side of the woods. Dude, are you at 50 followers yet? Where does it show? $42. Dude, you're so close. Okay. Okay. So if we think about how we want to get the stenciling done, we could you know, give a draw order. Oh my gosh, dude, you're already a Typhlosion. Heck yeah. There is so Squatch, you can do, I think it's dance. You can either dance or you can attack. So I can go attack K-Tronics. And then my guy will walk over there and go beat him up. So yeah, there's you're the only one in here, dude. I couldn't do it to Squatch because I was showing him. But yeah, there's a couple different fun things with that. Yeah, I'll fix it. I'll make amends. And then there's even like little mini games, like we can do a battle royale, or we could there's like a ping pong or a basketball you can play. So yeah, it's like, so sometimes, you know, there's some certain animations that Typhlosion has that is like locked behind whatever his dance animation is. But then if we were to do like a battle royale, everyone who's an active, you know, avatar in there gets dumped in here into like this mini game that just auto plays here, and then they just go at it, and then I think the winner gets money. Oh dude, yeah, see the Typhlosion fire coming out? Oh, see, I'm screwed because I'm in the middle here. Oh, okay. This is too much. It's really fun. I think it's cool. I don't think I think I might have locked Battle Royale behind a moderator access, but at least I can do it. So if anyone ever wants a Battle Royale, I can always just pull one out. Oh no, I am so sorry for what I did to you. Yo, K-Tron, you're gonna win this. And there's little like med packs they drop in. Probably just shatter. They just explode when they die. Yeah, we do come back, but it's a fun little game. Good job, K-Tron. I knew you had it in you. So K-Tronics does hardware. I mean, what would you even call it? Like a PCB restoration or tech repair? I don't know what you would call it, but I always like watching your stream, dude. Yeah, as far as the stenciling goes, we can do a couple, we can accomplish it a couple different ways. We could kind of do it like how we're currently doing our animatables, where we're saying, hey, go ahead and insert this tile ID into the right row and column, and then just render every top layer tile after we've rendered the player. Because right now there's a scene, there's a map, and the scene is what holds reference to the current map as well as the next map on a transition. And then there's also a map that holds all the tile IDs and the entities for the given map. But scene is what holds the reference to what we're currently looking at, as well as the next map that we're about to walk on. So the player exists in the scene. So if we wanted the door of this cabin to appear on top of us, we would have to render it either after the scene or at the bottom of our scene and render every, whatever we call it, top layer sprite or whatever. And one thing I'm thinking about adding too is, like, right now we do have, we have the object collision detection, but if you notice, they aren't perfectly square, because if it was stopping me perfectly square from colliding with this tree stump, it would not let me walk any further than this, because at anything past this point, our sprites would be touching. But it does allow me to walk a little bit for that kind of like perspective style collision. As if it's 3D, like I'm in front of the stump there. So in the same way that I can go in front of the stump, I should probably be able to go back. I should probably be able to go, the tree should be a little bit in front of me. It's like I should be able to walk through the tree about right here, because the tree's 3D, just like how I'm 3D and the stump can be behind me. I should be able to walk behind the tree here. What's up, Soup? I noticed this while moving around. Movement isn't entirely tile-based, right? By design? Yeah, movement is not tile-based. I've got... I do floor it to the nearest... Actually, yeah, I thought I floored it to the nearest pixel. But actually... Oh, so what's happening here is the library I'm using to resize the screen, the push library, is taking this 77.9 and it's rounding it to the nearest 78 or whatever. So I did at one point round these to the nearest pixel, but it didn't change anything because the push was ignoring the decimals anyway. So I think I left it off for a little bit more accuracy, or just to let push handle that. Oh, and you know what? It is a little different, because if I walk... No. Okay. No, yeah, I think push is handling rounding those. That was very confusing to me for a while. Oh no, we just crashed. Why? That is a bummer, dude. Okay, well, this is awful. Okay. Man, it's really frustrating when we crash like that, but, dude, I don't get it, but yeah, stream issues again. I don't get it. I gave up on 60 FPS because I couldn't get stable. Oh, man. Okay, well, we might have to restart. Let's see. My internet went down. I don't get it. I don't get it. I think we're back up. And we're dumping. Are we okay? Okay, I don't know why this is happening. I might just get a new Ethernet cable because I don't know what else to try at this point. I mean, it did look like my computer itself was disconnected from the internet, so it wasn't like a OBS hiccup. I think my computer just dropped it. So I don't know. I might try to run a couple test streams on the bot account on Mac and see if that is a little more stable. Oh my god. Why does it do this? What is happening? Let's try again here. I'm taking out my Ethernet. Like that would help. We're just going off Wi-Fi. Okay. Well. Yeah. Dude, I don't know what it is. I literally just unplugged my Ethernet because the Ethernet, like the Wi-Fi seemed stable, but the Ethernet did not. I don't know if that is the case still. Okay. Dude, yeah. And my computer is like 12 years old at this point. And it almost died the other day. What up, Katron? Okay. Yeah, I know, Soup. Every time you say it's good, it tanks. That happens basically all the time. Not your fault, not your fault. But yeah, as far as the... there's a couple different ways to go about it. There is a way in Tiled for us to add a new layer to the exports that we're doing. So we could potentially, for our second layer, right, we can have, I think there's a way in here to go layers. Yeah, we can have another layer and we can just draw anything that needs to be above our character, on top of our character. We can draw that via a separate layer. And then we just change the render order for that topmost layer. We say, go ahead, render all that first map like we currently are doing, then render the player, then render that top layer map. So I think that's probably the way to go about it. I don't think we'll do this today, but this will be in the very near future. I'm going to add it to our notes. And dude, and one thing is, the computer might be crapping out because it is like ridiculously hot in my room. I don't know if that's affecting the CPU or what, but yeah, it's going to have a faux z-axis, you know. And same with, like, I do think it'd be good to have the player walk behind a tree, just like how we can walk in front of something. So I might shrink the collidable map object bounding box on the top side. I might shrink that maybe by like 20%, 25%. Maybe we can do that and see. I think that would be an easy enough fix to pull off today, but honestly, I'm like sweating in my room right now. So I might need to call it a little early to go just take a breather. Let's find where we're doing this collidable map object logic here. Okay, we've got a class of collidable map objects. And then we have, I want to see where we're doing the definition for the collision. It might be, you know, dude, the apartment really sucks. Like, we've got decent AC in the main unit, but in all the rooms, it really sucks. So I can hear it on, but it just feels like a toaster in here. And today was super hot, so it's just one of those things. Our AC went out for 10 days, like 3 weeks ago, and it was miserable. I'm trying to think where we put this collision with a map object. I forget what we call it. Collides map object. Okay, so in our scene, we have a top collides map object. That's the one we're going to want to shrink by maybe 25% on the top edge. And then we should be able to walk kind of in front of that faux z-axis. But you know what? Yeah, this would allow us to walk a little closer to the tree, but it wouldn't change that order layer. So we'd have to also export the trees or anything like this as one of those Z objects to be the last of the render order. But we can at least modify this function to maybe be a little closer to what we need. Where is this? This is in the player. So if we go to the player class, we should have this top collides with the map object. Where is it? Really? Where do we declare this? Right here. Yeah, dude, it's I don't know what I'm doing, right? So like I'm kind of just manually doing whatever. Like we only, we have a tile ID. Every tile is only, referenced once. It's the same tile, and we just insert it based on the tile ID. So it is very manual. And then, we're not importing all the maps all at once. We're only rendering the current scene, and we only render 2 scenes if we're transitioning. So yeah, I'm learning a lot trying to do it this way instead of loading like the whole map all at once. I like that it's kind of tethered to this screen by screen. But here is the top map object collides function, but we have to, I'm trying to think of a scenario we don't want to shrink this that much, because this applies to all our entities. So I think it is a little jacked up to modify this. We might need to tweak we might need to make only a specific player collides with map objects to do the render order layer. I'm trying to think of what that might look like. Did we just crash again? Man, it is such a bummer to crash all like this. I don't know what to try. Such a bummer. I mean, we can drop down to 720, but I'm at a low enough bitrate. I don't think the bitrate is the issue. Come on, dude. Dude, I'm about to pull up my Mac and just do it here. Yeah, dude, I think starting tomorrow, I'm going to try to stream on Mac and see if this fixes it. This is really annoying because this is the same issue I was having on Linux. But then when I switched over to Windows, it fixed it all for a good month or so, and then we're getting these issues again. But Linux was on the same machine, so maybe it is a motherboard thing, and we're dumped. I'm going to try to just dump our stream settings. I can't change it unless I stop recording, so I might just keep it going. Okay, well, yeah, I think starting tomorrow, it'll be streaming on Mac, and I'll do some tests. I'll run some tests tonight with Mac on the bot account and see if we can't get some stable streaming going, because this just really sucks. But yeah, we're going to have to rethink how we do this Z-order rendering if we want behind the objects, because I'm thinking if we have like an entity that's pretty tall, that entity, depending on its position, would have the different render order, right? So that's going to be a tough thing to figure out, but I think it could add a lot. It's not how Link's Awakening does it, but we could make the call where we only shrink. We only have the collision based on the map. Yeah, the map object. So like I could walk a little bit behind this tree maybe. Let's see if we can shrink it just a bit and see if we can walk behind this tree. So we've got the AABB collision right here, and it looks like it is based on, the left side of us with a little bit of a buffer. Needs to be bigger than the right side of our target, or the right side of us needs to be smaller than the left side of our target, and this is for something that wouldn't collide, so the top of us would have to be bigger than the bottom of the target, or top of us would need to be bigger than the bottom of the target, or this looks wrong, or the top of us would have to be smaller than this should be plus height. Would it not be plus height here? What is going on? Why Why is Twitch all I'm gonna blame my 12-year-old computer, everybody. I'm sorry. The VOD will be posted on YouTube, but it's just a bit of a mess to watch today. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think I feel like we're doing the top collision wrong here. Okay, I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it for Twitch because this is just bad. I'll continue recording. And I'll be back on Twitch tomorrow. Sorry, y'all, dude. That's really a bummer. All right. Sweet. Okay, so I don't really get why we're not checking the bottom of us here. Oh, it would be, so this would be we would want the bottom collides because we want our player to be bottom colliding, right, with the top of the other entity. So the bottom collision, like right here, we're saying that the top of us plus our height minus 2, which is the bottom of us. The bottom of us needs to be bigger than the bottom of us, the player, needs to be greater than the bottom of... This sounds wrong, dude. This sounds wrong. Plus the target height. We've got some weird logic here. I don't get what we're trying to do with this. Or the bottom of us is smaller than the target Y. That makes sense. That one makes sense because we're saying the bottom of us, if the bottom of us is above the target, then we cannot be colliding. And this one is saying if the bottom of us minus 2 is greater than the bottom of the target. So the bottom of us minus 2 is lower than the bottom of the target. Then it would also be... Yeah, I'm not exactly sure why we're doing this. It works though. Let's walk through the left collides and make sure that's making sense. You know, we've got the left side of us is greater than the right side, or the left side of us plus 3. What is up with this? Is smaller than the target X. What is the difference? Why these magic numbers? And then we've got... This just doesn't make a lot of sense to me at all. Okay. What a bummer we crashed on Twitch, man. That really sucks. I have to go and delete all those minute-long streams. We're almost at 100 followers, man. And thank you to everyone on YouTube who's been subbing. It's been super nice. I honestly don't get what we were doing here. This is not true AABB, and I don't make sense of much of it at all. Because we're returning the opposite of whatever these values are. So like we're returning what isn't a collision, or we're returning when it is a collision, but based off defining what isn't a collision. So that's what's a little confusing. We say it isn't a collision if the left side of us is bigger than the right side of our target, or if the left side of us plus 3 is smaller than the left side of the target. But why wouldn't it be the right side of us smaller than the target? That's what I don't get. Why is it this? I'm gonna just copy. I'm gonna take all of this, and then I'm gonna comment out all of this stuff. And then what I am gonna do is just try to do true AABB and see what it looks like. So we want to see, we're returning not for the impossibility of a collision. So it would be impossible for us to be colliding if the left side of us is bigger than the right side of our target, or the right side of us, so the self x plus our self width, is smaller than the left side of the target, okay? Or the top of us is bigger than the bottom of the target, or the bottom of us is smaller than the top of the target. So this left map object collides. I think that means, oh lordy. What is happening? I can't even walk. What is going on? Okay, so look, it triggers a left map collides, and if it's a left map collide, we would walk. We get transferred. But why would I not be able to walk left? Okay. Why would I not be able to walk left there? Okay. Let's continue on. It's way jacked up, but I'm going to continue this out and see what's going on. So we're going to see if the left side of us is greater than the right side of our target, or the right side of us is smaller than the left side of the target, or the top of us is greater than the bottom of the target. That would be impossible collision, and the bottom of us would have to be smaller than the top of our target to be that collision. Let's keep on going for a top collide. Oh, that's why. It's not AABB because I'm so silly. Yeah, it's not AABB because we're shrinking the bounding box for the top collision. Okay, I get it. Okay, I was very confused. And it's because we're tweaking manually the little tiny collision boxes, right? Like the topmost of the thing. Okay. So the left side of our collidable map object. Okay, so the one is just like a pixel buffer for the corner, so that we can't collide anywhere on that corner for a left collision. So I guess that makes sense. Okay. So if we want to... Yeah, if we want to check a collision, a bottom collides with a map object, we have to check whether or not our height... Well, it would be, entity bottom collides would have to not get triggered until it's past the top of the target a little further. So X and Y is probably fine for that. But then we're seeing, okay, the top of our bounding box for our bottom collides is 2 pixels above us. And we're checking to see if that is the top of the bottom. Oh my gosh. Self Y plus self height minus 2 means that 2 pixels from the bottom of our feet, right? If that is greater than the height, then we can't be colliding. Or if Y plus the height is smaller than the target Y. So, okay. So I think the line we want to change is right here. It'll be impossible to collide if we're greater than the target Y plus target height, and then we can say minus maybe 5 pixels. This is where all the magic numbers come in, of course, but we should be able to go a little... Nope. Okay, we should be able to... Or the bottom of us is smaller than target Y plus 5. Let's try that. Oh, it's so jacked up. Okay, I get it. I get it. We'd have to add the same offsets for our side collisions, because we're triggering a side collision once we walk into there, but I don't even see, we're not even able to walk. Yeah, we trigger a left and right collision before we even get to that point. So if we were to take off our left and right collision, we might be able to see what this looks like. Ay. Return false then. What don't you like about this? What is going on? Why you don't like it? You like it on the other one, and you just don't like it here. Okay, we're returning false for left and right collides. So we should be able to see, yes, see how we're able to walk a little closer to the tree now. Now we're rendering, or we're picking up a top collision here, because, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Dude, this is a very tricky problem now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I'm tempted to say we just forget about this and keep making the game, because, I mean, I think I can figure something out to make this work. But I'm also trying to ship this game within 2 years, which is already quite a feat. So, like, we might hold off on that. But yeah, like, it is complicated. Like if this is all the amount we can walk behind it, then sure, we can go ahead and implement it and it'll probably be fine. Because the bottom collision is resetting us. It's resetting us to the wrong place because it's setting us back to the old place. But yeah, maybe it's just that we can't. Yeah, we sacrifice. This is what's so difficult, because if we add this, where would we be detecting a left or right collision? well, our bounding box is kind of overlapped everywhere with it right now, and same with up here. Where do we detect a left and right collision with this thing? Like, if we were to draw the bounding boxes for the collisions on this, it would look like a heavy, or it would look like, if you imagine the 16 pixels, the bounding boxes would start about 1/3 down, and they have like a pixel of empty on each corner or whatever, and we have a top, two sides, and then a bottom bounding box. You know, left and right collision, top collision, bottom collision. And right here, we're running into this issue where, yeah, we can detect a bottom collision, that's fine, but we have to be able to detect a left and right collision. And if we have both the top and bottom collision needing this much space, it gets really tricky to detect. So yeah, I think we might just add this to the nice if we want to dig around and try to do it, but knowing it's a bigger issue than I was initially thinking. I thought we can just come in here and fix it, but we definitely cannot at the moment. So what I'm going to do is comment these out a bit, get them back. They should be, now if we take out this +5, we'll be back to where we used to have it. And then, yeah, we're okay there. Sweet. So we fixed our entities' health. So now they're properly getting reset, so that's good. Cool. So I'm gonna, did we just, I don't think we changed anything here. What did we change? I don't think we changed anything. I didn't mean to quit NeoVim like that, but let's see. We fixed the entity debugging, which was on our list today to fix, so I'm glad we fixed that. The stenciling is a bit more difficult of an issue than I was thinking. I think the overall, like the stenciling for the cabin won't be bad. That'll be easy, because we can export a separate tile map for anything that has a stencil that needs to go over. And then, yeah, we can't. The collision detection here isn't based on the sprites, based on the X and Y of the map object. And we're about as far as we can come with that render order. So I'm not gonna, I don't think we're gonna tackle that. You know, we've got to make dungeons and the whole loot hero music system and all the other spellcasting and all that stuff. And we're trying to ship the game in 2 years, so I don't think we're going to be able to worry about that. I think it's fine as is. And I want it that way. Yeah, it's a feature. It's a feature we don't have that. Anyways. Let's take a look at our git diff real quick, and we'll just see that we've got the new original health that fixed our bug. We're adding in the health bars, so that's about all we did. Let's go ahead and add everything, and we will commit with a message saying that we fixed our entity's health, fixed corrupted geckos health bars. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, sweet. Sorry, Twitch. But thanks for everyone who's watching, trying to follow along. I try to stream every day. Hopefully I get some better internet or less crashes on stream. But if you want to watch on Twitch, you can join chat and get a little Pokemon on character on screen. I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll work on, let's see what we want to work on tomorrow. We're going to be working on... We might do the stenciling tomorrow. yeah, I don't think I'll do the channel trailer on stream now. I don't know. If anyone really wants me to edit videos on stream, please let me know and I can show that. But I probably won't unless there's some desire for it. I just kind of want to keep the channel to game dev, but you know, promoting and stuff is kind of part of the game dev, so I might keep it. I don't know. We'll see. And this would be really nice if we could add this based on the map, but that's not necessary. So yeah, we'll do stenciling tomorrow, and then we will work on the channel trailer throughout the week this week, and then hopefully we'll get ready to go there. So I'm gonna call it quits. I sadly can't rate anybody, but thanks for watching. I appreciate everybody. And yeah, I'll catch you later. Have a good rest of the night.